Hello everyone and welcome back. Uldir comes out on September 4th, which means that we all need to be ready in a matter of a few days. I hope that you have all been grinding out gear and getting your Mythic Zeros done every week from release until now. Now let's go over the final steps that you really need to nail down on your Prot Warrior before you're ready to walk into Uldir on Tuesday. The number one most impactful change that you can actually do on your Prot Warrior is to get the right Azerite traits. And the one that really matters the most is Deafening Crash. Now this Azerite trait does not stack up, so all you need is one piece of gear with this trait. Now I do highly suggest running Deafening Crash, and if you are running that Deafening Crash, I highly suggest combining it with Unstoppable Force and Anger Management. What this means is that you are going to have very high uptime on Demoralizing Shout, which means that while you're active tanking any of the bosses in Uldir, you can basically maintain a 20% damage reduction at a very high rate. Now the second best trait you can aim for is Brace for Impact because of the new block system, and our mastery makes blocks very important for us. And after that is stacking up either Iron Fortress or Bloodsport, and underneath that we have the other two, which at that point don't make a big difference which ones you get, but highly recommend running one Deafening Crash and trying to get 2 Brace for Impacts, and if not, Iron Fortress. Now the second most important thing and a very impactful thing for Protection Warriors is Shield. The new blocking system reintroduced in BFA goes back to a time where block value really mattered, and with this new blocking system and our mastery, block value is very heavily favored here. So I highly recommend getting a 340 item level shield. It does not matter what the secondary stats on it are, because all 340 item level shields are going to have the same block value. If you are lucky enough to get a Warforge or a Titan Forge, then run that, but the highest item level shield you can get is going to matter a lot in terms of your mitigation going into Uldir. Number 3 on this list, and something that you should be doing because Prot Warriors are very different from Legion and in BFA, is to get comfortable with your build and your spec. What this means is that most warriors are going to be running a very common build going into Uldir that provides fast cooldowns, great rage generation and consumption, and it has really good synergy. Now the talent points that really matter here and are a core part of this build are at level 15, you're going to want to pick up Into the Fray. It's going to be a huge haste bump. It's going to make your shield block come off of cooldown faster. It's going to make you generate rage faster as well, which will pair well with some of the later talents. At level 45, you want to be running Unstoppable Force because we are running the Azerite trait of Deafening Crash. So by running Unstoppable Force, that means that we have amazing uptime on Demoralizing Shout, which makes Unstoppable Force paired with Avatar a very substantial defensive cooldown. Now for level 60, the Bolster talent point is the strongest talent point in this row. This is going to be a huge cooldown reduction on Last Stand, a 33% cooldown reduction, and it's going to buff your cooldown to also provide 100% blocking. This is going to allow it to reduce any blockable damage going in by about 40% if you have a Mythic Zero shield, and this also helps out by maximizing your mastery by guaranteeing those blocks. At level 90, I highly recommend running Booming Voice as well. This is going to help you deal more damage, it's going to help you increase your threat, and if you pair it with Unstoppable Force, it's really going to help with on-demand rage generation as well. At level 100, this row to me is uncontested, and the choice is Anger Management. This is our bread and butter right now. This is going to allow you to have fast cooldowns, whether it's Avatar, Demoralizing Shout, Last Stand, or Shield Wall. This is going to maximize your mitigation by allowing you to rotate these cooldowns very quickly into your rotation. Now number 4 on this list is to get used to your keybinds. This is important because it allows you to respond to situations very quickly. So as a warrior, our strength comes from fast, frequent cooldowns and also from being a proactive tank and being ready for the hit before. We don't really have self-healing anymore, so the ability to recover from a big hit is a lot less impactful in our current build. So what you really want to do is respond to the situation before it comes out. Be proactive, know exactly what's going to be hitting you and how to counter it, and keybinds are going to allow you to do that very quickly. And last on this list of being ready for Uldir is maximizing your secondary stats as best as you can. Now this is at the bottom of the list because you should be picking item level over everything, but the secondary stats do matter if you have the choice. And our secondary stat priority is going to be Haste first, followed by Mastery, being closely followed by Versatility, and the last one that you should be avoiding if you can is Critical Strike. Prioritizing Haste is going to allow you to have faster shield blocks, faster abilities that generate rage, faster rage consumption as well, and it's just going to be an overall very good choice for smoothing out the damage taken. Mastery right now is very powerful with the new blocking system and your active mitigation. You also throw in your bolster talent point and you're going to get a lot out of your mastery. Versatility is also just one of those very straightforward stats, reducing damage taken by a flat percentage, so it's going to help in smoothing you out a little bit, and the amount of avoidance you get from Critical Strike is just not something you should prioritize. There are way better stats that you can be picking up like Haste and Mastery, so avoid picking up Critical Strike if you can. And that is going to prepare you for Uldir as best as you can be. Remember to run your Mythic Zeros and get that gear as high as possible, item level over everything right now. The only time you ever want to dip down below item level is to pick up the Deafening Crash Azerite trait, or if we're talking about a 5 item level difference, you can prioritize secondary stats. But that does it for this. If you guys have any questions with your Prot Warriors and getting ready for Uldir, any final steps you need to take, let me know in the comment section down below. We do have Uldir right around the corner, so make sure that you are ready to jump in there. If you like my content, like what I do, want to help support the channel, go ahead and visit my Patreon link down below. I do also stream every Wednesday and Friday here and on Twitch, so give me a follow on your favorite platform. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, good luck tanking out there.